Okay, you friggin' bastards, this is James T. coming at you from the top secret location here in Texas. I wanted to go ahead and talk to you guys about a gun that I picked up on the cheap, and I love it. The reason I got it on the cheap is because it didn't come with these two babies right here. I just went to the gun show, the Saxit gun show today. Ooh, that gives you a little bit better idea of where I am. I was in the Saxit gun show today and found these two. They're CZ mags, like specifically made for the CZ75. They're the best mags you can get for this type of gun. And I got them for 20 bucks a piece used, which really isn't bad considering they're $40 mags. Here's the gun itself. This is actually a Baby Eagle made by Israeli Weapons Industries, IWI, also known as Magnum Research. Same guys who make the Desert Eagle. That's why they call this the Baby Eagle. The Desert Eagle is made in 44 and 50 and 41 too, which is kind of a different caliber. But the Baby Eagles are 9 and 40 and 45. They might not make a 45, but I know they're definitely 9 and 40. So one thing I want to talk about with the gun, I'm going to clean it too and break it down for you guys. But one thing I want to talk about the gun is the ergonomics. I think the ergonomics on this gun are probably some of the best that are out there for any gun specifically. It kind of takes a little bit from Glock in that it's a polymer frame, but more or less there's finger grips in here too, but the upper portion of this grip is a little bit thinner than on a Glock, and it's got that nice backpack here. I don't know what the hell, like back strap anyway. It's not interchangeable like some, but this is just how I like it, so ergos are great. Up front here you'll see that there are grooves on the finger. Well, they assume that this can be a finger rest. Now I was talking with some people, and because I mean, why else put a groove there? I mean, if you're not going to put your finger there, why not put a groove there? I was talking to people who strictly say, you know, you should shoot like this. That's your grip. You know what I mean? You got your three around the base, you got your thumb across, your finger or down the slide so you can shoot, and then you need to wrap your other three fingers here, tuck your other thumb under here, and then this one comes over the bottom too. So there's your grip, right? Bang, 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 bang. I personally, no matter how many times I've tried, I just would rather have my finger there. I feel like it gives me more support, and I'm just nice and smooth with it that way. But either way, the ergos are just good. I like them, and I like the safety too. It's ambidextrous safety. It's my favorite type, of course. It is external hammer, single action, double action. So all good. I safety checked this pistol before we started this video, guys. So I know you see me pulling the trigger like an idiot. Not a problem. So what else? The sights are really nice. It's very visible. They come up pretty far. Just like a CZ or any of the ones do. I'm pretty sure you get a good sight picture just by looking at it like that there. If not, I'm not looking through the camera. Other than that, it's a 9mm. Like I said, they make this one in 9 and 40, maybe 45. Not really sure, but I really love this gun. I think today it just became my favorite gun. My favorite gun before this, 9mm at least, because I mean all guns are different, but my favorite 9mm up until now has been this bad boy right here, the Ruger SR9C, and I do still love this gun. This will always be my carry gun. I don't think I'll ever change that, but you know, sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do there. I picked up a holster for it today too, and I don't know where I put it. I'll show you. Well, this isn't the video about the Ruger anyway. It's a video about the Desert Eagle. So, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and break this baby down, show you what it's all about. There's that holster, by the way. It's got it all dusty. I'll break this baby down, show you what it's all about. So this one here, you'll see that there's two little dots right here and right here. To break it down, you're just going to line up those dots and then push in the slide release. Oh shit, do it from this side, it's easier. Line up those dots, push in the slide release pin, and that'll pop right out. And of course, just like any other gun. This one does have a really long spring, double spring as well. So when you let this one out, just be aware that it's going to shoot back at you potentially. Barrel, very similar to a high power barrel. It's got the grooves on it that attach in the barrel like that. It keeps it nice and still, nice and stiff. Let's see here. And of course, the inside of the slide, mine's a little dirty. It is milled. It's not pressed or anything like that. Great little slide. There's a rail type thing up here. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be for a rail. I don't think it is. But there is, it does kind of come up. I don't think I've ever seen any kind of rail that could work on that. Maybe there's a small little pistol rail or something out there. I don't know. I don't think so. It is striker fired. Well, it's hammer fired, but there's a striker in here. Firing pin runs through. I didn't have one failure with this gun. Oh, I did have one failure, but I was shooting Tula ammo, and it was a light strike, and I get light strikes with Tula with just about all my guns, so I'm pretty sure the Tula 9mm just has some really hard primers. I bet you they use these primers in there, the small rifle primers. Okay, so cleaning this sucker is going to be pretty simple. I really didn't do very good prep work on this area. Just get some paper towels lined out here. I did actually very poor prep work on this area. Okay, so first thing I always like to do when I clean the gun, very simply just dump a little oil in the barrel, oh, grease, not grease, whatever, solvent in the barrel. So I put the paper towel in there, and then I run the brush a few times. Get it nice and clean. Before I get really too hard on the scrub, what I like to do is just make sure the barrel's clean too, because there's a lot of shit here on this area now. So we'll clean it. Nice and shiny. But what's more important is the inside of the barrel, so we're going to get back to that here in a second. Okay, so we ran the brush through there. Now we ran the brush wet, so we're going to run a dry patch. Oh, shoot. I'll be right back. Be back in a moment. So I forgot my little attachment for this cleaning rod, but I got one right here, so back now. I'm not sure if this one's even going to work on here. It doesn't. I'm going to put it back on the long rod. We'll just use the long rod for now. That's what she said, right? Use a long rod for now. Alrighty. So get a little dry patch for the barrel. Get it on stick here. Oh, shoot. I ran about 600 rounds today, so my fingers are a little sore. But that's simple. We all know how to do this portion of the deal, right? No problem. And after on that dry patch, I like to get a couple of wet patches going here. I think the wet patch is the best thing for the bore. The brush is good too. The brush gets all the heavy stuff out, but that wet patch will clean out your bore real quick. A little wet patch. Yeah, I like to make a mess, guys. I'm a slob. I've said that in previous videos too. So just give it a quick little scrub here. Looks like this barrel is not too bad. It's already looking pretty clean. But now that it's nice and wet, we'll run through it with the brush one more time. Just full strokes, guys. In and out, in and out, in and out. She said. In and out, in and out, in and out. Nothing more special than that. And then another dry set. And then I'll get a dry patch. And that'll be it on that. I mean, there's no major fouling or anything in there. It's just powder. So once you put the solvent in there and run it through, I mean, you really got, if you're really anal, you can get the rest of it out. But for me, I don't feel as though it's worth my time. Because, number one, the ammo's not corrosive. And number two, it takes, like, you'd be doing this for 20 minutes to get it all out. So we'll come in there and make sure we get the most of it. So yeah, there's not much coming out there anymore. It's pretty clean. So the next time around, it would be significantly cleaner as well. So that's basically done. The barrel anyway. Have to get all this shit off of there. Man, I really didn't prep my space. Okay, so with this, I mean, I've got two patches already right here, so let's wet those up. And for the inside of the slide, I just run some patches over it. It'll be a little dirty, you know. Just needs to be clean, just like everything else. You see that's a lot more dirty than the barrel. It's kind of funny. Usually the slide and the inner components aren't as dirty as the barrel, but this time around for some reason it is. So don't forget to get the outside too. Just a little bit on the outside, you know. I always work that out. Number one, fingerprints. Fingerprints will destroy your gun finish if left for a certain amount of time, or enough time, or a duration. But yeah, so number two, because there's gunpowder out there too, so you might as well clean it. Let's see. I like to clean in here too. When it comes down to it, you can push this thing apart and take the firing pin out and do all that too, but I save that for my yearly cleanup for all my pistols. I don't clean the firing pin incredibly often. Doesn't need it. Be right back. In all my videos, I always talk about these rags here, the Hops silicone rags. They're cool when they got the silicone on them, because they put a little extra shine on your gun. But I like them once they wear down and there's no more silicone, because there's always a little bit of silicone on them for one, so it's never like you're not doing anything with it. But it just cleans up everything so nicely. I don't know if it's like the most absorbent or what. Like, I don't know what it is, but it leaves everything looking real good. With a polymer body frame, I don't think it's all that important to clean it out. But I just get the big powder out of there, whatever will come with a couple of swabs. Reason being is it's polymer. It's not going to corrode. It doesn't matter what kind of primer you use, what kind of powder you use. It doesn't matter. The polymer is not going to corrode. It's not going to rust. It's not going to do anything. So as long as you just superficially get all the stuff out of there, that gun will never stop on you. It'll just keep on going. Well, based on what's in the internals here, it could stop for other reasons, stovepipe, whatever. But it'll never have a problem because of what's going on in the frame. And that's pretty unlikely in any situation, but we'll do the same thing. We'll take this, we'll wipe it off. Sorry guys, came out of frame here. Just wipe it out. And then from there, we've got a spring and a pin. So the spring doesn't need much love, just, superficial coat. Whatever will come off with a quick swipey swipe. Like that, I'll lube that spring up too. I like this gun because it does have the steel guide assist rod, which is this right here, which slides the barrel up and down on the spring, and the frame. I like not the barrel, just the frame. For a steel guide assist, that's like the first upgrade that anybody does to a Glock, or it just makes a lot more sense to have the steel guide assist rod. I don't really think it does too much in the way of accuracy or function, but people just don't like plastic, so that's that. Put the barrel back in here. There's a little bit of dust right there, or patch crap. Stuff left over from the patch. That's the definition of the day. What is patch crap? Tiny bits of cotton left over from the patch. Okay, so that's back in there now, plain and simple. Well, before we put that back on, excuse me, we want to lube the rails. Like I said, I always lube the spring up, but just a little, that's it. That's all that's too much. Damn it. Okay. And then of course you want to lube the rails as well. So where the rails hit on the polymer frame, put a dot, put another dot, okay? And then also they hit back here too, so I like to put a dot and another dot. And then sometimes with the frames, I kind of just like, the slides, excuse me, I kind of just like to put like 2 or 3 good dots and just let them run down the frame. You'll see that travel down the frame there. And then do the same thing, and then I'll hold it like this for a minute, just kind of let it run and do its thing. And we're almost there. We got about 10 more seconds of oil dripping, or lubricant, whatever. And the good thing about, I overdo it. A lot of people don't overdo it. I overdo it with the oil, because the worst thing that's going to happen is something's going to come out of the gun a little bit. And what I like to do is just wipe it off the gun periodically as I'm going, so that way it may be over oiled at first, but once you get down to where you're not wiping it off the gun anymore, then it's perfectly oiled. So I'd rather just do it that way than kind of try to guess, Okay, so put the pin back in, and kabowie. She's done. You of course want to get that oil off there, and look at that nice pretty shine that oil leaves on there too. That's the other reason why I overdo it a little bit, because when you wipe it off like this, it has no choice but to coat the whole gun, and you get a gorgeous, gorgeous shine on the gun. To anybody out there who listens to me and takes my recommendations, this has become my new favorite pistol of the ones that I own. And you guys have seen me, I've gone through quite a few pistols here. I've never picked up a pistol and been able to shoot it well one-handed without trying for a while first. I mean, double action, but I mean, I could just sit here all day and pull that trigger. And that's double action, so it's a little hard to keep still. But oh, I love it. It's a great gun. And it's a Desert Eagle too. I mean, that adds to the cool factor. You always see the movies. Of course, they're talking about a 44 or a 50, but still, it's a sweet ass gun. And then, I mean, the single action trigger is really nice. And I actually have a range video. I didn't show any targets or anything. I just wanted you guys to see the gun cycling, and it does that very well too. It doesn't have any kind of misfires or anything like that. Nothing that was the gun's fault anyway. I had one. That was the ammo's fault. So glad I found these CZ mags. Bang, bang, bang. Let's see. Is there anything else we can talk about with this gun? Some people would prefer the steel frame over this. Steel is great, but like I said earlier, polymer is not going to rust. Polymer isn't going to, scratch. I've yet to scratch anything that's polymer. I mean, you could if you wanted to. I mean, if you took this here, yeah, you could scratch it. But I mean, for a polymer gun, it's very lightweight, 17 round capacity, so I mean that really kind of helps you out there. You want to have as many rounds as you can in your gun, and this may even become a carry weapon of mine, because I think that this bluing, it's not really bluing, it's more like what's on a Glock. I can't remember what their process is called, but it's very durable, it's very, very well done, and that, I don't see how carrying this gun would harm it at all, whereas, a lot of your steel 1911s or your just any kind of gun that's not either well blued or polymer, concealing that is going to get sweaty and nasty, and your grips will rot out if it would, and that kind of stuff. So I've seen slides get all pitted and nasty from the sweat, and this gun looks like it's perfect from what I can tell about it for that application. So I think this may be my new carry piece as well, being that it's not very heavy either, just a little big for a carry piece is all. But hey, I'd like to thank y'all for taking a look at my video here. If you have any questions, by all means, you can ask them here on YouTube. And hey, man, if you like it, like it. If you don't. I like your opinions, good, bad, and indifferent. Give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment. I haven't been able to get too much of that on my site, and what I'd like to do is just answer any questions you guys have or whatever the case is. So once again, this is James T signing out from the top secret location in Texas. Look for some more videos to come.